Now today what we do is we just go through the confusion matrix once, okay? And then followed by that, we will work on the concepts which will help us derive a conclusion as to what is accuracy and precision, like the goodness of your model. How do I come to that conclusion basically? Okay, so we'll work on that part, right? Please concentrate. This part is important because you definitely have numericals based on this. You definitely have explanations based on this in the paper. Being subjective, it has to be properly written, explained, everything. Okay. Last time, if you remember, we had worked on the concept of confusion matrix, where we were trying to represent all the factors in a particular logical form. That what do I call it if it's that the prediction is saying yes but the reality is no, or vice versa, and what all others are those four cases basically. Okay, so we just quickly go through this. Like the first case was when we have my prediction says yes, reality is also yes, in terms of we were taking the case scenario of forest fire. So prediction also said yes and reality also said yes. So hence it became a true positive. So what you have to remember is true is when prediction and reality is same. Positive when prediction is saying yes for any activity we are talking about. Okay, predictions yes or no will be defined as the positive or negative, right? The second scenario was both are saying no, reality is also no, prediction is also no. So absolutely correct. So both match in terms of their answer, whether it's prediction or whether it's reality. So it is true because both match. And it is negative because prediction is saying that the action has not happened. So true, negative. Third case was prediction is saying yes, there's a fire, but in reality it is no. So they are disagreeing, hence it is false, right? Prediction and reality is disagreeing, so hence it is false. But prediction is saying yes. So this positive, negative, I'm repeating again and again, is dependent on the answer of prediction, not on reality. Okay, so prediction is saying yes, hence it is positive. Hence this case becomes a false positive case. And the last one is where you have it as a false negative. That means they don't agree. Prediction says no, reality says yes, so they don't agree. But prediction is saying no, hence it is negative. Okay, so because they don't agree, it's false. And because prediction is saying no, it is negative, right? Based on this, we had projected this confusion matrix, also called as the error matrix, right? And this is how it looked like. Now you will have to remember this particular part, like prediction, and we go by yes, no, or we go by 1, 0, depending upon the way they project the matrix on the paper, question paper. So you should know that when it is 1, it is yes. When it is 0, it is no. So true, false. 1 means true, 1 means yes. 0 means false, 0 means no. Okay. So when prediction yes, reality yes, I'm getting true positive. Okay. So yes, yes and no for these two. So this is like you can say 1, 1, isn't it? This one and this one. Yes hai, true hai, so 1, both of them. Like it's 1 and this is 0. This is 1 and this is 0. So this position is 1, 1 and this position is true positive. This position is 1, 0. Okay, so they don't agree. So hence it is false, but prediction says yes. Prediction is 1, prediction is true, hence it is positive. So false positive is this position. Then you have 0, 1. Disagree, so false. But prediction says no, so negative. Though reality is yes, prediction is saying no. But here when you have reality also no and prediction also no, so it is true, 0, 0. So this one is basically 0, 1. Okay, and this one is 0, 0 position. So one input, this 0 refers to prediction, one input, this 0 refers to reality. Based on that, we define our confusion matrix. Okay, because in the confusion matrix, when they give it to you in the form of a question, they will not be specifying that. If suppose they said this is the value 10 and this is 50 Okay, this kind of a structure they'll give you, right? This is 11, this is 20, something. I'm just randomly taking it. But they will not mention that this 10 is true positive, this 50 is false positive. Okay, that is why the position and the this 1 0 kya hota hai, 1 1 kya hota hai, 1 0 0 kya hota hai, that you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, then you can't solve the calculation. Okay. If I give you just a small glimpse of the example which we'll ultimately do today, that is something like this. Your question would somewhat look like this. Calculate accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score for the following confusion matrix on spam filtering. So prediction, reality, values are given in the form of true, and 1 is true and 0 is false, and the values are given. So you have to make out, you should be knowing that if prediction is 1 and reality is 1, then this value 10 is actually what? Because prediction is true, reality is 2. 1 1 you have to take as true. They agree. They are giving the same answer, so it is true. And prediction is saying 1, which is yes, which is true. Hence, it is true positive. Fine. You should be able to identify, associate this value with those 4 values. Which one is TP, which one is TF, which one is, like that, TN, which is FN, and which is FP. That is why I'm saying knowing that combination is important, because you will not be given that combination. You will be given a matrix like this. Based on that, you have to calculate these 4 parameters and then give your conclusion, then give your conclusion based on it. Okay, so that is how it's going to work. Correct? So that was about your confusion matrix, which needs to be kept in mind. Otherwise, it is a garbad. Anybody who still doesn't understand this thing, please. Anyone who will not be able to create this 4 values given a scenario.
Ma'am, can you explain it with the ones and zeros?
Okay, very good. Yes means true, means 1. No means false. Like if it's written false, or if it is written no, or if it is written 0, they will all refer to the same thing. Here also, yes is true is 1, no means false or 0. Right? Now what? This combination, this cell is what? A combination, or the solution, or the value focusing on yes of this and yes of this. So 1 1. So this becomes 1 1. And 1 1 say, how do I conclude true positive? Because both answers are same. 1 1 same hai. So there were 2 situations jahan pe answer will be same, jahan pe it will be true. In case of 1 1 it will be true, and in case of 0 0 it will be true, because they're the same answers, they're the same values. Correct? When along with that true, this fellow prediction says yes. So wherever prediction is saying yes, this will be positive. Wherever prediction is 1 is yes, is true, it will be positive. So यहाँ पे भी क्या हो गया ये 1 and 0. Reality is false, but prediction is 1. Okay, so wherever prediction is 1, it is your positive. Wherever prediction is 0, it is your negative. Okay, and here it is 0 and 1. Prediction no, reality yes. I portray here. So 0 and 1. Okay?
Yes.
1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0. Wherever both the values are same, the answer is true, the first part. And the other places it is false. And wherever prediction's answer is true, or yes, or 1, there you have positive. Wherever the answer of prediction is 0 or no or false, your answer is negative. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now let's move on to that. How do we judge the performance? Like after preparing this confusion matrix, we have to do some calculations. And based on that, we will be checking the, how well that particular model is effective or not. How much is it effective? Which factors we have to work on? Which particular factors I have to improve upon in order to make it more effective. Okay, so in that category, you have got 4 methods which we follow. One is accuracy, the other one is precision, third one is recall, and the fourth one is F1 score. Okay, now as per the terms as such, we understand that I definitely want to judge the accuracy of a particular, I mean, whatever I've developed, maybe a program or maybe something. So I definitely want to see at any point of time how much accurate it is. And also from that term, how much precise is it? At least these two terms we understand. Of course, we have no clue how to correlate recall with something like this, or maybe F1 scores with that. But accuracy, precision, at least we can make out as a TK. Accurate means to some extent it is. We are saying, if I'm saying it's 50% accurate, 50% times it is giving me the correct answer. It is matching reality and prediction. And 50% of the times it is not matching. Something like that. So from these terms, at least from these things, you can, 2 things you can remember easily. Yes, the other 2 you have to know that recall and F1 score is also part of it. And F1 score is something which tries to combine precision and recall, because everywhere you'll find that every factor, every method has a problem with it in terms of answers, in terms of judgment, basically. So ultimately, F1 score tries to balance out, trying to take the majority of the things into consideration. Okay, so let's start one by one. And here there are 4 formulas which you have to memorize. And they are something like this. So accuracy, I know it's like the percentage of correct predictions. Of correct predictions, when is it? Correct prediction means when it is matching the reality. When is it matching the reality? When the first part is true, when the first part is 1. Because I put true only when the reality and the prediction matches. So ऐसे कितने cases होंगे? 2 cases होंगे, true positive and true negative. Right? True positive will be that when the both are agreeing, it's a correct prediction and it has, the forest fire has happened, right? And true negative is when it is true, that means it's a correct prediction, but and about what? The prediction is about that the fire has not happened. So true positive and true negative from all the observations. So this sounds very good, but I'll show you a situation where this doesn't actually give you the correct analysis. Okay, so accuracy is actually percentage of the correct predictions out of the entire set of predictions. Right? How do I calculate that? It's correct predictions, which is TP plus TN. So both the true values we have taken and divided by all the observations. So TP, TN plus FN and FP. Okay, that's your accuracy. Now let's get back to get to the situation. Now, supposingly, if I'm saying like 90% accuracy here, 98% accuracy here, so will it give me a correct? Is it trying to give me a correct thing? Should I be using that model which is giving me a 98%, 99% accuracy? No. Why? Let's take up the situation. My prediction, assume a situation where my model is always giving a no answer. Always. Okay. And majority times your reality is also no. So that is why we are saying probability of reality being yes is only 2%. So that means 98% times it is correct, which is pretty high accuracy. Okay, 98% accuracy. But is it usable? Now, problem is that when your AI model in this case is always predicting no, then in that case, when a fire will break out, this possibility 2% hai. It's definitely much, much less than your 98%. But when the fire will actually break out, your AI model will never say a yes to the fire taking place. Obviously, that is not a usable situation. Na? Like no point, no matter whatever happens, your prediction is always a no. Your AI model always says no. Right? Obviously, that is not a usable thing, though accuracy is very high. There is a very bleak chance of a forest fire, but There is a chance. So your model should not be designed in a manner that because there's a bleak chance, so every time your model is saying no only. In that case, uska relevancy nahi hai na, isn't it? Okay, so though it is 98% accurate as per the given example, but this kind of an AI model is not functional. So accuracy ke terms mein we really cannot work. We cannot only take the factor where the prediction and reality is matching. हमें दूसरे factors भी consider करने पड़ेंगे, which we do in precision and recall. Okay, so high level of accuracy doesn't guarantee a good model. Example is here. Okay, let's move on to the next one, precision. Okay, now in precision he says, okay, let's not talk about the negatives at all. Let's talk about only the positives. That means when the prediction is saying yes. Positives means when the prediction is saying yes, whether reality mein it is happening or not, that is not important. Whenever the prediction is yes, let's consider those parts. Out of, I mean, the overall consideration is when the prediction is yes, and what are we actually mapping it to? We are mapping it to the true positive cases. Ki sare predictions, I mean, the number of times the prediction is coming out to be yes, usme se when is it that when prediction and reality is yes? Because there's one small factor here which is false positive also. Prediction is yes means positives. Correct? Prediction yes means positive. So all positives fine. I'm going to consider. I mean, where my prediction and reality matches along with prediction saying yes. So this is the most important thing for us, I believe. So that is why I've taken it. Out of the TP plus FP, by FP will at least give me a situation where they are not agreeing, but prediction is saying yes. At least we are considering that. Okay. So here we are taking the true positives in relation to your true positive and false positives. Okay, so only positive cases. अब इसमें हमने negative लिया ही नहीं, that when the prediction is saying no, we are not considering that, which is also not right, because उसका भी एक significance है. Okay, so positives there is a significance, negatives also there is a significance. Now in this case, what you have to understand is that if the factor is high and if the factor is low, okay, factor high means it's a normal denominator numerator concept. Factor high means this part is low. I mean, ये छोटा होगा, denominator छोटा होगा तभी तो आंसर बड़ा आएगा ना. Normal division concept, right? So TP plus FP अगर छोटा है, then you are getting the TP, your precision higher. Okay. So if precision is high, this means that two positive cases are more, because ये factor ज़्यादा हो गया. False positive cases are less. This much we can derive. True positive cases are high, false positive cases are less. ये less है तभी ये factor ज़्यादा आ रहा है. TP is more. That is why it is coming out to be higher precision. So it is giving me positive answers, okay, but at times it is giving me false alarms also. This FP is what? False alarm only, right? But lesser number of false alarms. If I'm saying my precision is high, that means my lesser number of false alarms. If my precision is low, that means this FP is high. Number of false alarms are more. So, you know, it will become a situation where it will be like sher aaya. So once, twice, thrice, the forest group will go, fire extinguishers will go to check. But then they'll realize, अरे ये तो ऐसे ही बोलता रहता है ना? False alarms, too many false alarms are also not good for any situation. Okay, so that is why high precision is also a problem, low precision is also a problem in certain cases. Now then, what is the other thing they have come up with? Before we move on, let's take up that situation where we have a very high precision, 100% precise. Kaise? Prediction says 10 cases of TP. Okay, TP means what? They agree. True positive means prediction and reality agree, and prediction is saying yes. means in reality also it is happening. But in reality, there are 20 more cases where it is happening, where prediction is telling me no. है ना? 20 cases of yes, whereas prediction is saying 10 cases of TP. 100% precise, because at least 10 times जब हुआ तब तो उसने दिया है ना, 10 times जब reality में forest fire हुआ, then my prediction said yes. But there were times when reality में it happened, my prediction was wrong. Okay, but that part we are not considering. That's what we are explaining here. Let us consider that a model is 100% 100% has 100% precision, which means that whenever the machine says there's a fire, there's actually a fire. Okay, because 10 cases true positive means both are true. Reality and prediction. Positive means prediction saying yes, and we are saying it's 100% precise means jitni bari prediction hua that there is a fire, and there's actually a fire. Okay. In the same model, there can be a rare exceptional case when there is actually a fire, but the system could not detect it. May it be 2% cases, 5% cases, but there can be cases, isn't it? That is the false negative case. Okay? But false negative case, as we see, that in my formula of precision, there is no place for false negative. So false negative wala factor to consider ही नहीं किया है. It's all positive whenever my prediction is saying yes. Okay, so that is why my 100% precision also is not usable in this case, because it's not taking into account the false negative, because the formula doesn't take it into account only. Okay, so precision has this problem. So 100% precise machine or model is not again applicable for me. Chalo, then they came up with a third method. That's my recall. Okay, now recall said, acha, okay, true positives is definitely what I want to work with, but I should consider false negatives also. Means how many times is this thing happening that my prediction is yes, but sorry, my reality is yes, but my prediction is no. Negative tabhi aayega na when prediction says no, and prediction says no means because it is false, reality has to be yes, tabhi to false hai, right? So reality yes and prediction false should also be considered, and recall is coming to that thing that it is taking the false negative into consideration. So it can be defined as a fraction of positive cases. You can see in recall and precision, the numerator is same. I'm considering true positive only because my main focus is true positive only, isn't it? But in precision, false negatives were not at all taken into consideration, which is not right. Here, false negatives are also taken into consideration. It considers true positive. That means there was a forest fire in reality and the model also predicted. Very good. As well as false negatives also. There was a forest fire and the model could not predict it. This also should be considered while we are checking, isn't it? Because if this is too many of them, too much, and I'm not considering that only, like the way I showed you that it's 100% precision, but there are many cases where forest fire is actually happening and my model is not predicting, right? So that also we cannot say that model is very good, isn't it? Ultimately हमें तो ये बोलना है ना that whether my model is effective or not, is good or not, is I mean able to take care of situations or not, right? So then in that case precision is also not able to take care of it because it is not considering the FN factor at all. Chalo bhai, recall is being done. Recall is considering that fact. Very good. Okay, but now let's talk about then what. Okay, so which one should I choose? Should I always choose recall? Should I do not consider precision at all? Okay, now that will depend upon that how much you can ignore the false negatives. How much? Now I've given you 3 examples here. Like first one is a forest fire, and there we are seeing that recall is very, very important because false negatives agar hua, too many of false negative means forest jal ke raak ho gaya, and these predictions, the model did not even say once that there is a fire on those times, those 10 times. 10 times it said, and that we were able to save, but 10 times it is not saying, and I did not check this situation. So that is not permissible. ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता, है ना? I should not be taking that model. Now let's take up a case where we say that there's a viral outbreak. Like, so that means what? In a forest fire situation, my recall becomes more important. Recall factor definitely देखना है. I cannot go by 100% precision machine. I have to check the recall. Okay. Now take another one where we talk about a viral outbreak. Now here we are saying, imagine a deadly virus has started spreading and the model which is supposed to predict the viral outbreak does not detect it. Because I have not considered situations where false negative is happening in precision. Right? So again, in this kind of a situation, the virus might spread widely and infect a lot of people, and people might die. So it's that bad, entire forest fire has taken up, an entire community has died, and my system doesn't predict it at all. So dangerous if I'm not considering false negative in this case. Okay. Now check out an example 3. There can be cases in which the false positive condition costs us more than the false negative. Now, in dono cases, mein forest fire and a viral outbreak, false negative is going to lead me into trouble. More number of false negatives. Okay. But in cases where my false positive condition can also lead us into trouble. What is that? One such case is mining, or like, well digging or something like that. अब इसमें क्या problem है? Imagine a model telling you that there exists a treasure at a point. It could be treasure hunt, or you're hunting for water. Treasure in terms of water, oil, diamonds, anything. That's just a general term being used. Exists treasure at a point, and you keep on digging, but it turns out that it is a false alarm. Now here, the false positive case has cost me very high. So in this case, my precision is a better factor, जहाँ पे I do not consider false positive at all. नहीं चाहिए मुझे false positive. Okay, because I mean, like, I've spent a whole year digging, and ultimately output 0. That also I cannot allow. Okay, so little bit your precision and recall are dependent upon the situation also. Okay, so we cannot really get away with either of the two. Completely get away with. So then what is the solution? Then comes my F1 score. This beauty is able to consider precision and recall both. So precision will take off all true positives. Your recall will take care of a false negative also. And combining the whole thing, I will get a proper score by which I can measure that. Okay, I can decide on whether to go for this model or whether to improvise on it, on which factors I should be improvising, किस पे और काम करना है. I can take a decision regarding that. Okay, so this is the formula for your 2 into precision into recall divided by precision plus recall. So factors we have to find out, the values we have to find out, and based on that, then we do the calculation. Okay, so F1 score is a measure which is like a balance. It takes concerns both precision and recall into one number itself. A good F1 score means that you have low false positivities and low false negativities. So you're correctly identifying the real threats and not disturbed by the false alarms, because false alarms bhi bahut zyada hoga, so that is also problematic. After one point of time, that story, I mean, that Shera story is the correct thing to understand the problem of false alarms. After some time, you'll start ignoring, छोड़ो यार, ये तो हमेशा गलत ही बीप बजाता है, forget it, right? So we have to develop a model where the false alarms are less. Once or twice, it's okay. You can take it up, but not always. Okay, so that is how F1 score is helpful. Okay, now let's come down to this question and see how do we actually work out on it. So like a proper 5-marker question where it is asking you to calculate the accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, everything from this given matrix. Okay, and then you have to kind of give your input. that which factors पे हमको काम करना चाहिए on our model in order to improvise the overall output of the model. Okay. Now, I really couldn't design this whole thing for other examples. It's taking time writing it out like this. So today I could work out only one, but I will design more examples and share with you. I mean, very peculiar situations can be there where you have all the factors coming out to be same. There's no difference. So you can still say that, okay, iska sab kuch is almost balanced. And you just have to see that whether that amount, what is coming, like the F1 score for this question is coming out, the situation is coming out to be 0.23. So are you okay with it? Or you want around 0.5, or you can want around 0.4 or 0.6, depending upon the scenario, of course. Now here my scenario is spam filtering. Spam filtering kya karta hai? In your emails, it is like identifying the spam mails and filtering it out. Okay. Now here you think, in terms of what factor will affect. If like your model is identifying every other mail as a spam, right? Giving too many positives, false alarms, then you might miss out on the important mails. So I can't afford to do that, isn't it? It could be that fine to some extent if it is giving me spam mails as original mails or okay mails, that is still okay. I might ignore it by just having a look at it. But the vice versa case is very dangerous, where your system is just removing the mails, defining them as spam, and they are not. Okay, so that is the thing where what factor will actually affect you, how much, to what extent. So let's do the calculations here. I've written the formula also so that we have a good revision, and in one place you have the whole calculation there with you. Now, first thing first, let's revise. Let me see. What is this out of the four factors? Batao.
True positive.
True positive.
Excellent, excellent. Everybody agrees? Anybody who feels, ma'am, why true positive? Please ask, beta, don't feel shy. We study once a week. It's very much acceptable. Ki nahi yaad hai. Okay, I'll just repeat once more quickly. True because both are same. Both outputs are same. Ye bhi one bol raha hai, wo bhi one bol raha hai. That is why it is true. And why positive? Because prediction is saying a true. That is why positive. Okay. What is this?
False
False
positive.
positive.
False negative.
False positive. Why false positive? Because prediction is yes, na? Ye isi line mein. Right? What is this value? 1, 0. Isn't it? Am I correct? Yeah. So here my prediction is 1. That means true. And they do not agree. Correct? They do not agree. Sorry, prediction is 1 means it is positive. I don't say true, false in this regard. And true, false I say because they don't agree. So it is false. So it becomes false positive. They don't agree. The reality and prediction don't agree. So it is false. And because prediction says a yes, it is false positive. What about this one?
False negative.
False negative, correct. They do not agree, so false. And prediction says no, so false negative. And this one? This is 0, 0.
True negative.
True negative, right. They are agreeing. This is your 0, 0. है ना? यहाँ का भी 0 आ गया और यहाँ का भी 0 आ गया for this cell. So they are agreeing. So true. And ultimately prediction is like, no, it's not happened. So TN. Okay. Now it is just, if you know the formula, you just have to place your stuff. So for accuracy, it is TP plus TN by all the calculations. So all your true positives, all your true factors, basically true positive and true negatives. True positive is 10, true negative is 25. So 10 plus 25 by total calculations, that is all the four factors, which is coming out to be 100 if I'm not wrong. This is 80, 55 plus 25, and 10 plus 10, 20. So 80 plus 20, 100. I've not really written that properly. TP plus FP plus FN plus TN. It's all the calculations. 4 calculations. Okay? So it's 100. So 35 by 100, it's 0.35. Now coming to the precision. So accuracy is like 35% accuracy. Now precision is positives ko we consider. So true positive by true positive and false positive. Right? Why is Akamjot coming now? Okay. So true positive and false positive. All the positives are taken into consideration. This was a problem with precision. It doesn't take care of the false negatives. That was the problem, right? So anyway, as per this formula, TP is 10. Okay. And TP plus FP. So TP plus FP, 10 plus 55. That is 65. 10 by 65 is 0.15. So we can see precision score is very less. Right? Now recall. Recall may how the formula changes. It's all positive, positive in precision. He said, no, I will go for the false negative also. I will go for a negative also. One negative factor at least when they don't agree. Okay, so this becomes important. I'm again repeating, this becomes important because they are not agreeing and prediction is saying a false. That means reality is yes. So in reality, fire has taken place, or flood has taken place, or earthquake has taken place, and my prediction keeps on saying no, 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 no. So it is not allowed. This has to be there. This factor should be considered. ठीक है, एंड ये फैक्टर सबसे मिनिमम होना चाहिए. जितना मिनिमम हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली रिकॉल फैक्टर बढ़ जाएगा. Like you can see here, because this is less, your recall has reached 0.5. ये सबसे high है यहाँ पे. You can see that precision is very low, but my recall factor for this particular model is very high, 0.5. That means false alarms are less, and true positive cases ज़्यादा है as compared to FN. That is why this is a higher value. Now we come to the F1. Please, I could not adjust my 2 multiplied by thing. It would have taken time. So it should be centrally placed when you write as per maths. Multiply should be just near your division sign here. Na? So वैसे करके लिखना उसको. So 2 into precision into recall by precision into precision plus recall. So 2 into 0.15 into 0.5. It is these two factors. And नीचे 0.5, 0.15 plus 0.5. And then you get this calculation of 0.23. So this is my F1. So F1 score 1 is like like too much. If that, then that model is like too good to go for. Anyway, I have got here 0.23 as my less than 50% also. Okay, but still what we find here is the least is my precision. So I need to work on the precision. What impacts precision? Your false positive. So if it is a spam filtering thing, you will have to explain this thing like this also. False positive, which impacts my precision, here will mean as mail is predicted as spam, but in reality, it is not. And you can see this factor is 55 too high. है ना? अब इसमें क्या होगा? Your important mails will be missed out, which you cannot afford to. Just cannot afford to at any case. है ना? Important, I mean, non-important mails को वो as important display कर दे, that is still okay. I will segregate, no problem. But the vice versa should not happen, because I will not go and check the spam folder again and again, right? So false positive, which impacts my precision, is actually showing me my important mails as spam, which is not acceptable. So because of which many important mails can be missed, as my model will predict them to be spam. Okay, so precision has to improvise. When precision will improvise in this particular place, my this factor has to reduce, then only my improvisation of precision will happen. ये reduce हो गया मतलब आपका false positive reduce हो गया. False positive reduce हो गया means your model is behaving better. Also, false negatives, which is impacting the recall. This is impacting the recall क्योंकि ये TP तो same है ना? False positive high होगा, so recall will be less. False positive low होगा, recall will be high. Right? And you can see false positive factor is just 10 here. Hence, I'm getting a very good recall factor. Okay. So in this case, what is happening? Mail is predicted as not spam, but in reality it is. Okay. So that's okay. But here we can see this is not very high. So this is not happening all the time, basically. So false alarm is not happening all the time in this case. That is good about this model, right? So what should I improvise upon? I have to improvise upon my false positive cases. which will affect my precision, and automatically precision affect करेगा तो recall भी affect your F1 score automatically improve हो जाएगा, precision बढ़ जाएगा तो ठीक है. That is the overall understanding of this particular situation. Is it fine? Don't worry, we'll do more questions. At least, is this much? Which factor is affecting precision? And because of that, if this is high, then what will happen in this scenario? Which factor is affecting the recall? It's Fn. Because it is low, it's good. I'm getting a higher factor of recall. If it is high, then what will happen? Are you able to judge at least that much from this given situation? Hello? Come on. It's not that bad. Are you not able to judge that much? What do you say? अच्छा नहीं समझ में आया तो say नहीं समझ में आया ना, that's okay.
No, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay, fine. What about others? Namish is at least giving me a green signal. What about others? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am, it's
Yes, ma'am,
clear.
it's clear.
Okay, Jeff is also saying almost yes. Very good. So what we have to see is somewhat how we actually are able to fit in our things and find out the factors which we have to work upon. So like from here, we know in this example, we can make out that precision has to be worked on now. Okay, I have to work on that particular factor, which is important, false positives. Right? We'll do more examples, more scenarios, which will make the things more clear. Let me see how many days are we getting more for the classes, and then accordingly we'll do it.